And we're waiting to find out what is happening in court. They should probably recess any minute now. But joining me and Kelly Hyman on set is the very handsome and very smart Norman Williams, criminal defense attorney.
So
of course, it's always a pleasure. You know, we're all friends. So this is just like the best for me, that I get to spend time with my friends and my new friends.
Yes.
So I want to talk about this issue that keeps being brought up, and that is quid pro quo, and not on that other trial happening outside there. But this, you know, it has been brought up that there is this culture of quid pro quo in Hollywood, and you as an actor as well, you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, the idea that, you know, if I scratch your back, you're going to scratch, you know, my back. And it's sad that, you know, becomes something that's so much that happens in the industry. You know, it's like, okay, well, you need to do this in order to get here, and that should stop. You know, no woman should have to go through this of saying you need to sleep with me or I'm not going to give you a part.
But in Hollywood, the quid pro quo is sex for job, whereas in other instances, it may be, okay, you help with this particular deal, and I'll help with this particular deal, like a business sense. Right. What are your thoughts on this? Because I know you had we were talking about this during the break.
I think it does exist in the business sense, but I think that unfortunately women are forced to pay the troll toll in all industries. I think even when a young woman wants to join a street gang, she has to sleep with a few of the gang members just to become a part of the group.
Is that some of the, you know, like the cases you've handled?
None of the cases that I've handled, but I mean, I know just from information I get about gang life and things like that. Yeah. It's amazing. It doesn't matter.
So, okay, so like you're saying young women have to sleep with gang members for what?
Well, when a male is initiated into a gang, you get beat up.
Yes. Okay, I'm familiar with that.
When a female gets initiated, she has a choice of getting beat up or sleeping with some of the members. And sometimes they'll just roll the dice. And depending on what number pops up, that's how many people you have to sleep with.
And why do these women do it? You know, we spent so much time talking about why the women behind us in that courthouse have done what they have done. And again, recognizing that at some point they, you know, are traumatized. And then perhaps that's why they continue to engage with Weinstein. But why, in your experience, do these young women do that to get into a gang?
It's the same thing. I mean, you want to become a member, whether it's a member of the Actors Society or a member of the secretarial pool or a member of a private law firm.
But okay,
or you have no choice. You feel like you have no choice.
Feel like you have to, and I think that the older generation of women understand that and have lived through it, and I think that luckily now the younger generation is putting a stop to it.
We hope.
You hope. That's what this trial is about.
But do you really think this happens in law firms, or let's just even use the DA's office, like a government agency? Like what agencies, what types of employment organizations would we see this most in, besides acting?
Anywhere where a creep is in power.
That's very good point.
Yeah.
So you think something like this would happen in the DA's office?
Not so much so in the government offices, because it's a little bit difficult. You know, you're going to get caught. Same thing in law firms, not as much because you're going to get caught. But I remember years ago, I was working as an intern in one of the technical schools that's no longer in existence. And I always felt that the secretary to one of the heads of the office, like I always felt a weird vibe flowing in his room, in his office. And I never asked her directly, but I knew that there was something wrong. I knew that there was a level of discomfort that she experienced every day.
It's a shame.
Like he was traumatizing her in some way. That's what you felt.
Yeah, he was making demands. That's what I felt. Could I prove it? No. This is just what my gut and my intuition told me.
So, Kelly, from your experience, what is it about acting in Hollywood that we just see this so much more often?
You know, I think it's like this idea of this glamorous life, like you're going to get famous and then you're going to drive fancy cars and you're going to go to these amazing parties and you're going to be seen by different people, and just that whole idea of some would say of living in a fantasy world to escape your own reality, that, you know, you're struggling financially, your car's not working, or can I afford enough gas to make it on this audition because I got to go all the way across town?
But isn't it easier just to go to school, get financial aid, become a lawyer, and then be rich?
All right, and then
why
and
isn't
then
that
have
easier
huge
than
huge
sleeping
debt?
with Harvey Weinstein?
If that's what it was, everybody would go to law school, or everybody would choose the same path.
Yeah, but you don't think that's easier than having to have sex with someone that you don't want to have sex with?
I mean, yeah, but reading hundreds and hundreds of law treatises is not that easy compared to being an
No,
actor.
I barely graduated law school. I mean, I get it, yeah.
It's,
you've been on both sides,
right?
I find your perspective really interesting.
I think it's a very, very difficult perspective, and I think you have to sit inside someone's shoes. As an actor, you're always told that you should pretend and to experience something, to live through that person and to understand, what these young women went through, whether it's coming from a broken home and you have this inspiration and aspirations to be an actor because you love pretending, you want to escape your own reality, and then you see these powerful people that are very wealthy and show up with these fancy cars and have all this life of luxury and going first class in private jets. And if you didn't have that as a kid or experience that, you look at that and you desire and have a passion to do that and pretend you're someone else.
Sure, and I think what you're saying is almost like we can picture, right? We can picture the Julia Roberts life. We can picture all these beautiful, famous stars, what Brad Pitt's life is like. So there's that aspiration, inspiration you talk about. Whereas no one's really picturing what Mr. Proskauer and Rose look like, right? Like at the end of the day, they probably have as much money as Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt, but we don't know who they look like, right? They're like those accountants that show up at the Oscars. Who wants to be them? All right, we got more new testimony to bring you. We got to take a quick break, but after this, another Court TV instant replay. Well, we wait for court in New York versus Weinstein to recess. We just got in more new testimony from earlier today. This is Jessica Mann still on cross-examination. Another Court TV instant replay.